You're listening to Family Business with Daphne. We're back again on this amazing adventure of learning and growing together. Family business is making a comeback, I think. What do you think? Make sure you follow me on my blog, daphnemallory.blogspot.com, where I lend more tips and tricks in terms of how to grow and start a family business successfully. I've been talking to people all around the country, and there's just a buzz and excitement about this. Like, what? You can grow a family business? You can work with your family without killing each other? You can make this work? You can be your own boss? You can create your own economic destiny, and on and on and on. Yes! And I'm so happy to be able to interview co-preneurs and family business founders, next generation leaders who are doing it every single day. And today is no different. In the studio, I am joined by Voni and Shayne Jackson of V. And now here we go. I'm going to have them pronounce the name of their store because we're going to have a little fun with this. How do you pronounce the name of your business?
It's the Gyros shop.
Gyros shop. How do you spell that?
Gyros.
It's not gyros, gurus.
Yeah,
gyros?
it's phonetically incorrect. It's the G is silent, and so's the S at the end. So
what are you in the business of doing, Shayne? What do you all do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, just to enjoy what we're doing. You go out and it's different. Make the public happy and everything, and enjoy and have fun what we do. It's been a new experience working consistently with my wife, but it's just, I don't know, mine's the enjoyment.
Yeah,
we're both still alive, so
yeah. Okay,
that's a bonus.
I love that. Whenever I ask people what are they in the business of doing, I never get the answer of this is our product, which is what I love. You say you enjoy the business, you enjoy seeing your customers happy, and I could tell that joy. And I think it's so important because at the end of the day, everyone I've talked to, really, we do have a higher mission in family business. It's not the the sandwich at the end of the day. Is do the people come into your shop and do they feel satisfied? Do they have great value?
Yeah.
On and on and on. So I love that.
True.
But then you said working consistently with your wife. How is that, Voni? What is that like, working with your spouse? Let's keep it real.
I think the good thing about Shayne and I is that we were friends before we got married, so that helps. We we got along pretty good, but it does test. It's tough to be. We both have our ways of doing things, and they're not always the same.
Oh my goodness!
But,
So it's not utopia and bliss.
It's just a good rounded. No, there's no. It's reality.
It's reality. Let's keep it real. Well, let's take a step back. So yes, you want to provide your customers with joy and value. What do you do on a day-to-day basis, though? What are you all selling? What is the product that you are delivering in this process of trying to make people happy and be satisfied and have value?
I have been addicted to Gyros since the Gyro shop first opened, which was about 30 years ago, 28?
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend brought me one, and I didn't know what it was, and she snuck it on to me because it had lamb in it. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to eat anything with lamb yet, And I'm like, wow, that was good. And it was a gyro. It had lamb in it, and she laughed because I loved it.
Yes.
And so, we did a lot of different things over the years, and I kind of got a little disgruntled with what I was doing for a living.
Okay, wait, before you get there. So because there's a lot of people listening around the world. So you said lamb and brought it to me. What does it look like? What is it?
It's a Greek taco.
Interesting. And so
that's how a lot of people describe it.
Okay.
A Greek taco.
And so what goes into it? Like, what's the shell? Is it like a hard shell,
It's
a soft
pita.
shell?
It's a soft pita.
Okay.
Yep.
And it has lamb in it.
Yes, lamb, and it's a beef-lamb mixture, and that is pretty much worldwide. I guess even in Greece, it's a mix. It's a blend. It's usually a beef-lamb blend. The straight lamb is good, but it's a little much for most people.
And what do you eat it with?
You put the tzatziki sauce on it, and that's a Greek sauce made with yogurt and cucumber and spices. Yep, and the meat is rotisseried. It's actually grilled on a rotisserie, and we slice off the browned. As it browns, we slice off strips of it.
Yes.
And put the tzatziki sauce on, some lettuce, onion, tomato, and
then you're good to go.
Yes,
that sounds
so good.
Gorgeous. Wow, okay. And so people come in and they purchase that, and then are there sides with it? Or you
Yeah,
just...
the traditional, we sell a basmati rice with it in the combo meal. A lot of people will, over the years, they had just chips that they sold with it, but we added the basmati rice because that's something that's a little, like I say, a little more traditional.
Okay.
And we also have the Greek salad that we have with it, which is also traditional, and it's a lettuceless salad.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yep, it's just vegetables, onions, tomatoes, olives, cucumbers in a balsamic red wine vinaigrette.
Okay, I'm getting hungry right now. And so you said chips. So the first thing I was raised in London for about 9 years. So when you said chips, I went, don't let me bust out my British
Crisps.
accent. Okay, so crisps. So actual potato chips.
Yes,
okay.
potato chips.
Great. So why, you're not from that part of the country.
No.
What in the world are you doing with this? Why? Tell me the connection. How did this happen? Where did this passion come from?
Like I said, I fell in love with them when I first saw them and when I first ate my first one, and yeah it's like I talked the owner into letting me buy it from her.
Oh, sounds a little. So how do you talk an owner? How does that work, Shayne? Tell me a little bit about this. Well, how does this work? So you started. So this business was already in existence, right?
It was already in existence for about 28 years and stuff, and we've always toyed around to doing something, a small business or something. We were both raised on farms and everything, and you know, you get bigger, get out, and everything.
Yeah, both of us raised in family
businesses.
Interesting.
So you know, you want your kids to grow up. You want to teach your kids. You want to have a way. So we were always looking and everything, and always had our ear out for something. And Voni just one day, and we were toying around with some different things, and talked to some people out of Boise just to get ideas. And she called up Tammy and says, you know, I'm interested. And
she was leasing it at the time.
And
Leasing
they just had a little talk. She just had this thought and an idea, this intuition, and it just went from there.
That is pretty amazing. And so I heard a couple of things. First, you had the idea, and then you did some research.
Yeah.
And so for those of you who don't know, Boise is the big city, not too far from here. And so you went to that market to see what they were doing, to then figure out what you would do back in this market.
Yep.
Okay. And it just literally came out of a passion that you had about this new thing you just tried.
Yes, I loved it. Was a place I always loved going to, and I always loved being there, and I loved the food, so kind of a happy place throughout my life, so.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are thinking about, okay, I want to start a family business, but I have no idea what to start with. And so one thing I've heard is that you did something literally out of your passion. You weren't thinking about that initially. It's just something you were passionate about, you enjoyed it, and you wanted to produce a business out of it.
Yeah, I just follow. Yeah, you've got to follow your gut and follow some of those instincts, because it. I would never ever have guessed in a million years we would be doing this, and it was only because I kind of let myself go to that place. You know, it's like, well, maybe I should follow some of those gut instincts and see why. You know, why am I having these thoughts and and impulses toward doing our own business? And yeah.
How important was it to have such a supporting spouse to say, okay, hon, you've come up with this idea, let's go for it?
Hugely helpful. Shayne is awesome.
I wish you could see the smile. It went from ear to ear. Shayne is smiling.
He's a good dude. He really is. And that is immensely helpful.
I bet to have that support around that idea. And so, did you all have an idea what your strengths were in business? What your strengths were in business? Shayne, did you understand? I'm really good at being the front face of the company. I'm really good at being behind the scenes of the company.
No, I'm more of a good support system. She is the spokesperson, the front leader. It's, just in everything we do. There's my strengths on certain things. She supports me, and then the opposite. And in this case, I was more the support unit, and she was the front person.
Yeah, we had no idea at the beginning. We learned this.
As it unfolded.
It has to evolve.
Shayne's good at this. He's going to do this part. He gets to talk to the suppliers because I'm a pushover.
I've heard that a lot from people, that what they do is they're real clear about who's good at what and defining their roles and responsibilities. And that seems to work for people to split it up that way. And now you have children.
Yes.
Are they both in a family business?
They are. They both work whenever, through the summer they work with us, and then on the weekends, on Saturdays. We're open Saturdays, not Sundays. So on Saturdays they come in and they help us run it. It's just the four of us on Saturday, and during the summer it's all four of us. We kind of rotate. We let the kids take turns through the week so they don't burn out.
Yeah.
And they want to go do it. It's not something we're not like, you have to go to the shop. You know, they're really, but they're good kids. They kind of get that this is what we do to make a livelihood. So.
I have heard of that as well, that parents who are also the founders of family business, they've all said consistently, don't force your children.
Yeah.
Make sure that it's something they want to do, so you, I guess, don't quench that entrepreneurship spirit in them. I've heard that consistently.
Yep, and they do enjoy doing it, and they fight. We had the first argument they had was at the shop was in front of a bunch of customers, so we quickly let them know, hey, that's not what we do.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Let's not start a screaming fight in front of the customers. That's a no.
Yes. Now, Shayne, do your customers know that you are a family business?
Yeah, I'd have to, and as we progressed and everything, I think they figured it out, especially when our kids stepped in and everything. This Saturday, you have your Monday through Friday crowd and you have your weekend crowd. And our weekend crowd always knew, and I think as the summer went on, like, they have like the Wednesday night concert on Twin Falls, and I think that's when everybody really started realizing that it's more about family and who we were.
How does that work for you? The fact that they do know, is that advantageous, or?
We get a lot of compliments. You know, there's a lot of people that think it's pretty neat that we're doing that. And we have our kids involved in it. People like to see that.
I agree.
You know?
I agree. I have seen that when I've interviewed entrepreneurs for my Entrepreneur Magazine column, that people do emphasize the fact that they are a family business. That does translate into trust.
Yeah.
People seem to connect to your family. They trust that you're not just going to leave. That you're going to give value.
There's some
if you
staying power.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have definitely seen that.
Yeah.
So let's step back a little bit. You both grew up in family businesses.
Yeah.
How do you think, what did your parents do to instill this? You know, it's not commonplace for people to say, I'm going to create my own financial income. It's not typical. And you both are doing that together and repeating it. So what did they do? Some of the things that your parents did when you were growing up to instill this value in you of independence and entrepreneurship?
Well, I always remember there was always a security with me growing up that some of the other kids didn't have, because I knew that, you know, with a family business, it's hard work and you can't just drop everything, but there is more flexibility and there's more of a connection with your parents when you have a family business. So I always noticed that I seemed to feel a little more secure growing up, just knowing that my parents were there closer. I knew that they weren't going to have to make their boss mad to leave work, you know. So I wanted that for my kids, and it was hard when they were young, when we were working for other people. It was hard, and I always felt I never felt right about that. I wanted that feeling that I had when I was younger, of having that closeness and teaching my children the values. And it's when you have a business, you can do that. And that's kind of what I wanted, and that's what I had grown up. So I wanted it for my kids too.
That's amazing. That's how I feel. Also, as I homeschool my 4 children, and I have that same sense of I want to be the one to be able to share with them entrepreneurship values and other lessons, life lessons, etc. And business is a great vehicle for that. I mean, they're going to see you struggle. They're going to see you have victories, and they get to learn on both sides. That is pretty cool.
Good days and bad days.
Now, Shayne, how old are they? How old are your children?
15 and 11.
15 and 11, and they're already active in the business on weekends at least, and summers.
Oh, yeah.
What do you have them do? What do they do?
It just depends who's there on what we do. Morgan, usually my daughter, she's 11.
Hey, Morgan.
She normally runs the counter that takes the orders and whatnot. And Owen, he's the bubbly one. And they'll take turns. But if it's me and the 2 kids running it, Owen helps me in the kitchen. But if all 4 of us are running, Owen's really good with customers and everything. And so is Morgan. But then they work together and work the front end. So it just depends on, they do everything. Especially Owen. It's just it's a rhythm thing. and you just got to make sure you put your right pieces in the right
Fill
spot.
in where
yeah.
you're needed at the time.
Yeah.
And
And
they've
sometimes
gotten
it's
good at
one of them will run the front end if we're really busy. Bonnie and I are in the back. One's doing dishes. I mean, and then you rotate. It just
that.
depends.
Taking care of customers, bussing tables, whatever needs
Yeah.
done.
Oh,
And
my
if and if
goodness.
somebody's having an off day, you do more dishes just because it's you're in front of the public.
That is beautiful. I love that family rhythm. So
Yeah.
what are you doing to cultivate that? That is not easy. In fact, many people shy away from family business because they're like, we don't see a rhythm. It's bad music, and we don't want to do it. So you must be doing something maybe in addition or outside of work that is cultivating this. I mean, that's quite powerful. Do you take vacations? You take Sundays off? I noticed you said. Is that right?
And the Gyro shop always historically has had Sundays off, but we kept with that because you'd need a day to defrag and to sit on the couch and fold laundry.
And so that is important that you have that day off.
Yeah.
It is, and we're always really communication is really huge with our kids, and I would like to think that is more common, but I will say I have not seen that. I've noticed more. With the kids growing up, their friends, that communication is not, a lot of the other kids don't have that communication with their parents that I hope mine do. And that I think if there is a difference, maybe that's it. I don't know. But, and we argue and we have our ups and downs, but we just, we've always kind of had the attitude, don't hide your feelings. You have to talk about things in order to understand what's happening.
Well, they must feel safe to do that because
I
it's
hope
not
so.
common to have open communication. In fact, that is one of the struggles that family business owners do struggle with, how to communicate with their family openly, how to be transparent.
Yeah.
And so is it an open door policy? They can just stop what they're doing and come talk to mom and dad?
I would hope. And Owen's really good. Our older son is, that like different personalities. He's more easy to just come right out and tell you what he's thinking. Morgan is a little more introverted with that, and she tends to hold things inside a little more. So we just, hold her down and tickle her until she tells us what's in her mind. And eventually she'll let us know. But you can tell when something's bugging her, so you just have to tickle it out of her.
That's great. I have a little one like that too. I'm the same way. We have dance offs. And for those of you who don't know, check out my YouTube channel, Family Business. But we do take opportunities to just literally have dance challenges in the middle of the day, and that opens them up. So that's how I handle that.
Yeah, that's neat.
So you've got this culture where it's open communication, it's transparent, they can come to you, you have this rhythm going on. So how do you then relate to customers? Can customers come up to you and say, we have an idea for a new sandwich? Do they do that?
Oh yeah, all the time. We have, lots of people. We've introduced some new hot sauces. People love to put hot sauces on. We'll go get a hot sauce somebody's requested. And we've tried a few different things that most of the requests, I don't know. There's not, people really love Gyros.
Yeah,
usually it's just keep doing what you're doing.
Doing
Don't
and
ever
everything.
change this.
But
I don't
like
know.
for Oktoberfest and everything, and it was more.
What's Oktoberfest?
Okay. The month of October, it's just more of a closure of the summer.
Yes.
All the harvest comes
the
in, and
harvest,
it's just a good reason to do something fun before winter hits.
Yes.
Yeah, bratwurst gyro was
So,
the request. So we were like, okay, we can do that. We'll figure something out.
So we done bratwurst gyro and everything, and it flew.
Yeah.
Wait, explain. What is that?
So I went and found some yummy bratwursts and the sausages.
Yes.
And I cut them in half and grilled them and put them on the sandwiches instead of gyro meat, just for shake it up a little. So,
there you go.
Yeah, it was good. They were really good.
Yeah, made some sautéed onions and grilled onions up and had some spiced mustard,
cheese.
ketchup, choice of cheese.
Oh my goodness!
Just to change it up and just to have fun with the day, the event.
So it sounds like to me you do try to have fun.
Oh yeah, Yeah, you have to.
Is that the secret sauce to a happy family business and marriage? Changing it up every once in a while?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, be open and roll with it. You know, you've got to... I think in our culture we tend to just automatically say no to everything and to our kids, and you got to ask yourself, why not?
Yes.
Maybe we should do
Shayne,
that.
you got quiet.
Yes, he did. we just
some
had this
stories
issue.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm the why not. Shayne's the no. And I'm like, why not?
And so how do you navigate that when you have two different personalities? How do you make decisions then?
We talk it out. You know, everybody has their disagreements and everything, but you know, in the end, we always end up talking it out, and then you both present your case. Why should we do it? Why shouldn't we do it?
I bully Shayne over. Don't realize I've done it. Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. And then yes, once
Yeah.
we go through a moment of awkward silence where he looks at me and I'm like, oh. Should we talk? Okay, about this. Sorry. No, we do. We muddle through it somehow.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, anything you do, I mean, if it's with the Euro shop or home or wherever we do, things we've done in our past, in our travels, I mean, it's always a discussion. Then that's one thing I think what's good about Bonnie and I. We're different, but we're the same.
Yeah, the yin to, he's the yin to my yang and vice versa. I am a little, I'm the more open, free-thinking one, but without his stability and solidity, you've got to have that counterweight to that.
Yes.
You do. You have to have that. To keep in balance.
Yes. Yes. Now, you said wherever. You have a mobile truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
We have a mobile trailer. It's on our website and on Facebook, on our Euroshop Facebook. Wasn't planned. It kind of evolved, and it was kind of a weird thing. That was a discussion thing.
It was serendipity. One of those things. Why do I want to look on Craigslist? And you look on Craigslist, and magically there. Whoa, I don't know.
Really?
But literally, it was. It's like, oh my God, look at this.
Yes.
And this would be perfect. And just a little.
And it's not big. It's not an actual truck. It's a trailer. You can park it in, and it's
self-contained.
Yeah.
Which we noticed a lot of them aren't. We have a generator. We can function without auxiliary, without
power,
external power, without power. Yeah.
How can you do that?
Big generator.
And it's a propane one. I mean,
propane, okay.
And it's quiet. I mean, we can park it right outside the door, and it's not a rattler. It's not one of those you have a 200-foot extension cord and put it clear over. No, we keep everything right together, and it works. We've done some demos, and then once we've done demos close to a store and everything in case we have a hiccup.
What does that mean?
Oh, when you started out, if you forgot like some silverware or didn't have enough, you overlooked something.
We put it in front of Ridley's Mule to just give it a demo to
Yes, and just so that everyone's clear, because some of these listeners are newbies, when you say we do a demo, what do you mean by that? We do a demo.
We had to try it out. We had to go sell some Gyros to people we knew who wouldn't, yell at us if it was wrong.
Okay. So are you giving them samples or are they paying for it? You're testing it?
It was... Well, what I mean by demo, I was close to the house. I was by a grocery store. Everything was kind of in a security environment, safe zone. So if there was a hiccup, we could take care of it. If we were close to tools, we were close to a grocery store in case we ran out of something. We didn't know the volume of what we needed. It was just, you kind of just wing it. So we made sure when we winged it, we were in a safe environment.
Yeah. We have been to events where this poor vendor, you can tell they did not work the kinks out. It's like, oh my God. And people are getting their money back and not getting their orders. And we've seen that a couple times, and we knew when we got this, we don't want to be that. When we put this thing out to the public, we are going to have it functioning optimally, and make sure that we can get everybody their food in a timely manner. And so, yeah, we just had to work.
Oh, that's a great tip. So if someone's
Yeah.
listening and they're thinking perhaps of doing a mobile food truck, test it in somewhere where they could quickly go and get
have
supplies
a family
if needed.
reunion and sell food there.
Yes. Okay. Yes, and test it or demo it first.
Yeah,
Okay.
make sure you have all the kinks worked out. And it'll be stuff you didn't even imagine do. It's like, oh, wow, I never thought of that.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Why do a mobile truck? Why not just stay where you are? What's the key takeaway for the audience?
For us, the public was kind of pushing it too. They were like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
that's true. We had
we had a bunch of people saying, yeah, we need something other than hamburgers and hot dogs out there."
Yes.
And can you do it? You know, a mobile unit would be nice if you could hit some events and whatnot. And like I said, it was mentioned, then it evolved. Voni just happened one day. We were just found it on Craigslist, and it was one of those things. It was only posted for 15 minutes when she found it. I mean, it was. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And so you just knew this was it.
And it was reasonable. I mean, they, and you hate to say it, but somebody's misfortune is somebody else's benefits. And it was just a time thing, and it was reasonable, and the size, and it had everything, and what we were kind of, our
really
idea of a
misfortune.
mobile.
They just got into doing it and realized it wasn't their thing, you know. And so they were selling it, and it is little. I mean, it's a
it's
thing.
a 16-footer. I mean, it's not big, but it does what we need it to do.
Yeah, because we were making gyros. We don't have 50,000 menu items.
Yeah, we're not doing French
It's
fries
a
and everything else. We have your beef lamb rice.
gyros, and baklava. We'll bring a dessert, a yummy dessert.
Oh my goodness, you did not say the B
Yes,
word.
I did, baklava.
Please tell our audience what that is for some of those, because some of those.
That is a Greek pastry, and it is layers and layers and layers of a very, very thin phyllo dough. And then in the middle of that is a thick layer of a nut, lemon, honey, heavy on the honey, nougaty center, and then more phyllo dough in the bottom. And then you cut it into little triangles and you eat it, and it's sticky and it's really good.
And it's the perfect Valentine's gift
It is
for
indeed.
any lady. Any lady.
Oh yeah, baklava is so good.
They need to hop on right over to your shop and get lots of
Baklava.
those.
Sticky and delicious.
I love that. Well, I heard two things when you were talking about the mobile truck. So first, don't close yourself off to opportunities. You were just kind of looking, and there that truck was. And so just always be open to that.
Yeah.
But then you said something real strange. You listen to your customers. Your customers, you're there to serve them.
I know, right?
And in doing so, you're rewarded as a business owner.
it is
It's fascinating.
Oh yeah, people love to be treated like they would want to be treated,
Yes.
and that's been the nice thing. And in my previous job, it was more of I don't know, I was a health inspector.
Which is great for a truck.
Which is
for a
great,
restaurant.
because I know exactly how to make everything clean, sanitary,
Yes.
wonderful, and in accordance with all of it. Yeah, but it's nice to that's a completely different exchange with people when you're in a role like that, and even once you break through it and they realize you're okay, you're still, you're the enforcer.
Yeah.
And it's so nice just to make people happy and give them something delicious to eat, and and they're happy when they come in, and I hope they're happy when they leave, and that's neat. It makes you feel really good.
That's amazing. As a dad, Shayne, what do you think about family business? Is it something you would recommend to other fathers to instill those values in would you encourage dads to get into business with their children? What has been your experience as a father, would you say, in terms of the benefits of family business? Or maybe you say, not for everyone.
No, it isn't for everyone. You gotta have, for us it works out good because my son has Bonnie's personality, my daughter has mine, and it works because we're the rhythms and stuff, because Voni and I work in the kitchen, or my son and I work in the kitchen, so that's how it works. But for the value, it comes down to the kids learn money, they learn responsibility,
And it's hard work.
and it's hard work. I mean, nothing's for free. And I don't know. I was raised on a family farm and everything, so it just, to me, it feels good. I can give my kids something to base their,
Instill those values.
yeah, their incentives and values and everything like I did. So I recommend it, or something, even if it's a small thing, something to say, yes, you have to get out of bed, this is why, you know, that type of thing.
Yes.
There's a responsibility. Other than school, there is other responsibilities. So, you know, it doesn't have to be an actual business itself. It could be a summertime business, but just something to teach, a different way of teaching kids.
Yes.
So I recommend it if you can do it. And then there has to be, you know, some form of benefit too.
Tips, baby.
Yeah.
They love those.
Yeah, I was going to ask, so do you pay them in tips? Do they get a salary? Are they...
You know, it depends on how. If the tips were, if it's a short tip day, we'll pay them. You know, it's just usually though they do really good. They're